Alright, hello everyone. I'm over on today. We are making a video continuing the video on the Shaw family. I'm with Boule and the last one, a bit improper if you ask me, but it was alright. So let's get into the next one. The next one, the 10th son, is Shah Zucato. We don't see much of him. I believe he's the minister of the Liquor Island, but not much from him. He apparently uses axes in his fighting style. That's pretty much it. The next one is the youngest out of the triplets from Charlotte Crackers, and that's Angelai. She's a swordswoman, and honestly, she doesn't interest me whatsoever. I don't. Maybe she has a bounty of like, let's say 200 million, but that's pretty much it. I'm not really that interested in her. But I am interested in her older sister, and that's Charlotte Custate, and oh boy, this woman has some pretty good appearance for her age. Like, I think she's like one of the oldest. Like, actually, I think she's literally like I think she is literally like the one. If you go by the age, I think she's like the third one in the third group, and she's amazing. I mean, her younger sister doesn't have that bad going on, but she is just, oh boy. She has her own shape, and she's a swordswoman, but oh boy, I just really wanna have her. So yeah. Next one is Charlotte Cracker, who is a sweet commander. He's also a swordsman and he's very capable at it. He is the bisque normally that allows him to make biscuit soldiers, which he uses in combat. He's also the minister of the Biscuit Island. Now his fate is a bit ambiguous because it was stated by him that he is not very good at taking damage, and then he was blasted all the way from the middle of the woods into the trees and into the wall that in the whole cake island, the main building, and then he fell, and then they reacted to it, but we didn't know if he's alive or he's dead or anything. Now, there's a kind of misconceptions about Cracker, how weak he is because of the whole fact that he said he can't take pain very much because he's a glass cannon. But I think I already said this, but I need to say this again. Cracker was blasted from the middle of, let's say, Seducing Woods all the way to the cake with full force in, like, I believe in an hour, a couple of minutes, full force into the main building. He hit that and fall to the ground. I don't think that could be something that pretty much everyone can handle. Hell, I would go for to say even if someone like Crocodile would do that, I feel like even Crocodile would be knocked out. I'm not gonna say that's something that can really dictate how powerful he is. Huh. You know what I wonder? I wonder if he's the one that was injured by Eustace Kid, because he does have that scar on the side of his face. So maybe. Who knows really? So yeah, next one is Charlotte Gala. Now, out of all the ones, I think he doesn't appear once. I think everyone else at least appears in brief cameo. So I believe got glimpses, but he doesn't appear whatsoever. He's never appear. I originally thought that he might be a main villain in a filler episode, but that doesn't seem to be the case. So yeah, he is pretty much nothing. We can assume that he's around the same power level as his older brothers, but that's pretty much it. We don't know where he was, to be fair, anyway, in the whole Cake Island. The next one is Charlotte Cabelte, which he had a little filler battle with Luffy, and he does seem to be like the weakest out of the ones we know of, but that's kind of hard to tell specifically. He does have somewhat combat experience, but nothing else to say about. The next one is his older brother Charlotte Condenza. Now, it's important to remember that in the anime, they swapped a little thing about in which he was the one that was in prison and holding him back, Luffy trying to defeat Luffy, but no, because in the manga it was Charlotte Cabalte or Charlotte Counter, the one that was so they swapped the roles between him and them. I guess because they want to show off how more determined Luffy was by fighting three of these brutes, and they do look physically the most intimidating. We're all being honest to ourselves. So yeah, there's nothing else he does in the end. He just gets beat up and disappears. I just felt they did that because they need to explain why they don't show up in the arc. And now we have Charlotte Counter, who's again pretty much the same as the other two, with an added bonus of a little lolly girl or a little woman on his shoulder. Which, now we know that she isn't a Charlotte family because we got the entire family chart, but what is she? Is she his girlfriend? Is she his wife? Is she just a friend that constantly hangs out with that? Is she like a low-ranking soldier that just decided to hang out with that? I do hope we get this to find this out in the Viva Cardano book. What the fuck is up with this girl? And why is she there? I mean, why? And where she went for the arc? I mean, after he got knocked out, did she just get knocked out as well? Or did she go report? I mean, what is up with her? The next one is the oldest one of them, that's Charlotte Opera. Now, we don't know what his fate is at the Totland, like we don't know for Cracker. But he also ate the Cream Nomi. And he's the Minister of Whipped Cream. I think it's called the Thick Island. But yeah, we don't know. He is probably one of the more cowardly members because coward before the possibility of being punished by Big Mom, which honestly I think we would all do. Like, you can say what you want about Big Mom, but if you would have to be punished by her, you would definitely run. If we say punishment, I mean punishment by the literal definition, not the kinky one. I mean literal punishment. So yeah, I am wondering what happened to him. Because I think the last time we see or mention him is like when they're talking about the breakfast with, but yeah. The next one is Charlotte Efile, who is a commander, who's going commando with her chest by not wearing a bra. I mean, seriously, she's basically like Bella Batty, but yeah, a bit of a change. I wonder if they took the color scheme from her, they just changed it to look more like Bella Batty, because I do think they have a similar color scheme, a bit different, but still kind of similar. Now she's a snap shooter, which makes me wonder if she teaches others members who want to become snipers the whole things. We see a little bit of her in combat, but not very much in an anime filler. But yeah. The next one is Charlotte Hachi, who we also see even the most briefest, because I think it's just like a bunch of straps like holding her hands to her head or something, but yeah, nothing else. Now she's a swordswoman as well. She does seem to be kind of a combination of Efile and Monday, or the older one, or the oldest one. I don't know, she kind of looks like that if you ask me. The next one is Charlotte Amande, who's the minister of Fish Island, or no, she's the minister of the Nut Island. Well, she definitely picks nuts, to say the least, and she is banging. So yeah, she wears a weird blue-like dress with smokes a cigar and has a giant hat. I believe her epithet is the demon lady, which Gin is the demon man, Nicolom is a demon child, and Amanda is a demon lady, who is a demon boy. I wonder if that's one of the beast pirates. So yeah, she's intimidating in fire. She's also a swordswoman, and she seems to have a very slow style. Now I don't believe she's in Wano or in front of Wano, but I would like to see how she fights more, because I would like to know how that slow style does go, because she used her slow style on people that didn't really matter. So I'm curious about that. And the next one is the oldest one, which is Charlotte Monde. She also has a brief fight in anime, but nothing much. She's definitely she's definitely a bit better than Hachi, because she actually appears, and we see actually her design, but nothing much really. Now she's the weirdest one, because all of the siblings are supposed to be snake necks, yet she has no neck. I mean, seriously, you don't think does she even have a neck? No, I don't think she does. So I would like to know how that's possible. And now we get to the big dogs. Now we get to Charlotte Oven, who is the minister of bacon food. And he has the heat. hot Nomi or heat Nomi or whatever. So yeah, he is what he's Katakui's youngest brother, youngest of the triplets, and he looks pretty cool. Now he's probably the most proactive, well, outside of Katakuri, for catching and doing his duties because he does appear a lot. And he is pretty, he does look pretty, and there are scenes with him that are very intimidating. And he is a very intimidating guy on his own. But yeah. Now we don't know his bounty, but I would like to believe his bounty is about 500 million because I would say he deserves that amount. If it's lower than Daifuku, I know. Oh, by the way, he is like more than Daifuku amongst the siblings, so yeah, that's something. And now we have Daifuku, who is probably the least one of the triplets used because at least Oven does something while Daifuku just kind of sabotages himself, it just doesn't appear. Now we know he's in Wano right now, but we don't know if he's going to be used to get up there. Maybe he's going to use his genie to like throw Smoothie to get up there or something like that, but we don't know really. Now his design is pretty good if I have to say. Plus I believe he's the minister of the Beans Island. And his bounty I either see for 500 million higher than Oven's or a bit lower than Oven's. I don't know exactly which one you would say, but I would say one of those. And now we get to the definitely the most liked or the most famous member of the Shaw family, that's Charlotte Katakuri. Looking badass, over a billion bounty, the first character that's confirmed to his future sight, and about the Luffy, a Trident user, and all in all, a badass with a Mochi Nomi, especially the Paramecia, which is the only confirmed one. Maybe it's going to be confirmed later. Luffy has one, but so far the only confirmed one, and definitely a big member of the series. Yes. Now he's practically confirmed that he's not on this ship because Oven said if anyone should be in charge of the island, if anyone should be in charge of the crew, it should be Katakuri because it's go by skill and strength, and Katakuri is the man for that. So yeah, I do want to see more, see him again, and I do hope he comes back in a combat kind of way. How maybe in the final board in Rafto, he'll join the Luffy in the battle, and he'll become a member of the Grand Fleet because I do feel like he should be, because he's pretty powerful. Although to be fair, I do wonder if like there'll be a split amongst the Big Mom pirates. Like some Charlotte families are gonna go with Katakuri, some are going to go with. Gotta keep on their own devices. But yeah, Katakuri is definitely a big force. So yeah. Yeah. And now we have Charlotte Campote, who is probably... alright, no. Charlotte Campote, she's the minister of the Fruits Island, and to tell you straight on, she's definitely the one that's the most ambiguous. Because when Vito was naming all the big hitters from the Big Mom family, I mean, of course he didn't mention Cracker and Snack, because they weren't there, but when he was naming them, he said Oven, Daifuku, Katakuri, Smoothie, Prospero, and her were big hitters. So I'm curious what's so big hitting about her. I mean, I think we see her in one, so maybe it's going to be revealed there, and I do think she does have a bounty. I would imagine she has one of the higher bounties, like maybe a bit less than Prospero, who has a 700 million bounty, but yeah. She does do something to get away from the cannonballs, or not to hit, for the cannonballs not to hit the ship, but we don't know what. So she does that kind of resemble Big's mom, if we're all being honest. But we don't know much about her now. I do hope it's going to be revealed later. And now for the final child of the Big Mom of the Charlotte family, that's Charlotte Prospero. He is the minister of the Candy Island, and he ate the Lick Nomi. No, and now he didn't get his tongue from that. He got the candy powers, which is basically like one of the most versatile powers because he can heal himself whatever very poorly. I mean, he can, and yeah, he can make a candy slug. He can make an entire giant armor. I mean, he can make a bunch of things with his candy, and he's a pretty tough guy. Plus, now here's the thing. Some people say that Sabo versus Prospero, that Prospero has a higher bounty than Sabo for over almost 100 million. How is that possible? Now, first thing, keep in mind, Bruce Bill is not in his prime age. I mean, he's not the oldest guy. I mean, I don't say he's like at the age. He may not be at the age like White Bill or anything, but he is a pretty old guy, and he doesn't look like that physically intimidating. But he is in his age where you could say he's not anymore in his prime age. But yeah, he is decent. He is one of the more powerful ones of the family. I would say after the Sweet Commanders and Karakui's brothers, I would say he's definitely there. And the final one is Big Mom. So yeah, she's the Empress and the mother of all of the children. We don't know what her bounty is. I would say it's around 340 billion. And she's one powerful woman. Now, although the fan base hates her, I do kind of like her in that kind of aspect. I do believe she's kind of being underestimated when it comes to the full power of her because, well, let's be honest ourselves, she's not really initially the most intimidating when it comes to the whole thing. But I do believe she is powerful as hell. Now, I do have a theory that she might be weaker now that she has lost her memory in the story in Wano. No, because, let's be honest, so she would kind of be wrecking everywhere, everyone and everywhere if she's as powerful as if she's at her full power. Granted, I don't know why she didn't bring Prometheus with her, but maybe she wanted to be a bit more reasonable. I guess reasonable big one, but yeah. She has a hunger pain that causes her attacks and basically is a double-edged sword to her, and basically the reason why the Strides were able to survive the Atlanta and all that because she wasn't focusing on them. So yeah, that's pretty much Big Mom in a very brief referencing. Now guys, I hope you like these two videos. I hope you're gonna leave a like and subscribe to my channel for more videos in the future. And with that said, I can't wait to see all of you people next time. Bye.